Live on YouTube and Facebook with me, Diana, your sacred self-love coach. How are you today? I would love to know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching this live, let me know where you are, where you're at, what it's like wherever you are. Here I am in lovely England, and we have a beautiful rainy day today. The sky is just full of clouds and grey, and it's been raining lightly since the morning, and I'm one of those people who loves the rain. So I'm absolutely enjoying this day thoroughly. And right before this, I indulged myself in a delightful, very self-loving morning bath, which was really, really lovely. So, as I said, welcome again. Welcome to the series which is called Who Am I? Reality versus Illusion. It's been a really exciting 4 weeks for me. I love this topic. I love thinking about how much of ourselves do we really know? How much of the me that you see is authentic and coming from the source of who I am versus all the messaging that comes at us from the outside. And that's what this series has really, really been about, to support you in connecting with that deeper part of yourself. So the part that's not physical, the part that's not emotional, the part that's not mental, the part that is at the source of all of that, the part that I like to call your sacred self or your true essence. Other people call it soul, which is the title of today's talk. So I will be using that term quite a lot today. I use that term very easily. It's just part of my vocabulary, and I refer to soul all the time. I use true essence and sacred self more consciously, more recently, to really help me stay in touch with that part of me, that essence, that soul part of me. And back to the purpose of this. So to get in touch with that part of who you are, the deepest part of who you are. And I'm going to be talking a bit more about that today. And starting with the question, what does soul mean to you? Some of you might say, well, it's a music genre, right? It is. And why was that music genre named that? If we just think about the term soul and how it's been used in spiritual traditions, in religions, it's become very much a mainstream word more recently. And let's go back to that music genre. Why was that music genre named soul? Well, I think we'll come back to that after a little bit more. I'd like you to do this exercise with me. It's a really fun one. Oh, before we do that, before we jump into soul, there I go, all excited about today's topic. For those of you who didn't join me in the past few weeks, go back and have a look at the videos. There is one on body, and it really, really helps you to connect with your body, identify your body, accept your body, your physical self as it is, and decipher which part of your physicality is really you, and support you in deciphering your view of yourself as opposed to the view of what you should look like and what you should be capable of physically, and all the stuff that comes at us from the media. So that's in episode 1. It was all about body, and there's a beautiful exercise that you can do for a week or longer. You can practice it for as long as you like, as many days as you like, to really, really support you in getting in touch with your physical self and accepting yourself as you are. Then we had week 2, which looked at mind. And again, there is a lovely exercise that you can do every day if you like, for as long as you like, however many days you like, to get in touch with your thoughts and the the quality and the purity of your thoughts, as in which thoughts are really yours and your choice of thought, which are subconscious driven, maybe because of stored trauma, stored memories, and they're driving patterns in your behavior that you may or may not like, that you may want to shift, and which thoughts are based on, again, all that input that comes at us through the media all the time. So there's a lovely exercise in week 2 for you to really get in touch with your own mentality, your own mind, and then maintain that connection and keep it strong. And then last week was week 3, where we looked at heart, which is the word that I chose to depict our emotional self, our emotional body. And again, there is a really, really lovely exercise. It's somewhere between a meditation and a visualization that you can do with yourself as many days as you like, to get in touch with your emotion, to acknowledge your emotions as they are, to accept them. Emotions are neither positive nor negative. They are just emotions, and to accept them as they are, to look at them, appreciate them for what they are, and really get in touch with that, because our emotional system, our emotional body, as it's called, is a really, really wonderful tool if we know how to harness it and how to get in touch with those feelings and use them as a roadmap, as the signals on the roadmap. So you've got your roadmap, then you go on your journey, and along the way there are signposts, and those are our emotions. As we go through life, our emotions give us signposts of what's really going on in the deepest part of ourselves. Which brings me to soul, which is the theme of today. So this is where I'd like you to join me in a really fun little exercise that you may or may not have done before. If you work with meditation and you work with meditation teachers, you may well have experienced this. So wherever you're at, if you're in a position where you can close your eyes, then do so. If not, don't, and just go there with me in your thoughts. So think about your body, and think about when you move your body. And if I ask you who moves your body, what are you going to say? You're going to say, I do. I move my body. Do you see where I'm going with this? I move my body. Who am I? The title of the series. Then let's go to your thoughts. So think a thought. Think any thought you like right now. What are you thinking about? What were you thinking about before you came on here? Were you thinking of connecting? Were you thinking of getting out of your next meeting? Were you thinking of what you're having for lunch? So whatever you're thinking of, who thought that thought? If I have to ask you that, who thought that thought? I'm sure you would answer, I did. I thought the thought. So again, who am I? Who is that I? And then we get to feelings. So you might be feeling happy today, you might be feeling excited, you might be feeling sad, you might be feeling worried. There is so many emotions. There's a huge array of emotions that we could feel. And if I ask you, who is feeling that? So if you tell me I feel sad, and I say, who feels sad? You'll say, I do. I feel sad. Again, who am I? Who is that? And that brings me to today. Soul. Who is the very core of you? Who is that true essence? Who is that soul, that sacred self part of you? And are you spending time getting in touch with that part of you, knowing that part of you on a deeper level, and living from that space, showing up as your true essence, sacred self, showing up as your soulful self? That brings me to that music genre, soul music. If you think about soul music, it's all about harnessing all sorts of parts of being. So there is emotion involved, there's physicality involved, there's deep thinking and philosophy involved. There is all of it encapsulated in some essence that's just more than just emotions or just thoughts or just physicality. There's more to it. So what is that more, and how do you connect with it? So I'm going to chat a little bit about, hello John, thank you for being here. Great, John, thank you for the support. What I want to go into next is how you can connect. So there's so much talk at the moment about mindfulness. And mindfulness is a great word. And today I would like to take the concept of mindfulness and then throw in some new words. I love new words. Anyone who knows me knows that I love making up new words because they mean something to me. My word this week was in place of mastery, mistressy, because I prefer it, mistressery, mistressery instead of mastery. Yes, it's not that easy, but it just was fun for me. So we have mindfulness. The concept of mindfulness is so powerful, and using it every day and living in a mindful way can shift everything for sure. Because as you've probably discovered about yourself, as I have, and so many of us have, most of us have monkey minds. Our brains are running at like 10,000 miles an hour, and there are a million thoughts all flowing in and out of each other, so many different ideas, and just learning how to harness that or quiet that in the mind space and focus on one thing at a time and really focus and really connect with it is mindfulness. Great tool. I like to bring in bodiness. You know me, everything goes through the physical channels first. Hello, Veronica. So nice to have you here. Hello, JJ UK. Absolutely, JJ. That's where I'm heading with this. Mindfulness is not only when you take time out to be still, it is living with purpose. And you've just used a phrase, my favorite phrase in the whole world, live on purpose. So that's one of my mottos, live on purpose. Make sure you're living on purpose. So there's mindfulness, there's bodiness. As we discovered in the previous session of this series, how connected are you with your body, the needs of your body? Being aware, your body can also give you so many signals. And then thought, mindfulness, we've done that's thought, and then emotional living. So really being connected with those emotions. So now we've got more than mindfulness, we've got that living on purpose. And when we bring them all together and we hone in on them and we dig deep, connecting to what are your key values, what ethics drive you, that's more than an idea. That's more than a feeling. That's more than an experience. It comes from somewhere deep within you. And that's the part of you that today I want to really encourage you to nurture. So where I see stillness as being very important, JJ, thanks for bringing it up. I see stillness in the soulfulness part of the journey. So yes, more than mindfulness, and to bring that purpose in and to wrap all of those aspects of who we are up into a powerful bundle where we are able to live on purpose and in purpose and show up as our true essence every day is when we connect with the soulful part of us, that soul essence. So today, my challenge to you, there's been a little challenge or game, I prefer to call it a game, each week. The game this week is a question to you. Are you giving your soul time each day? I know a lot of you pray. That's beautiful. Anybody who takes 5 to however many minutes long to drop to their knees in stillness and not just in a state of requesting, but in a state of gratitude and then in a state of quiet, just to hear from that part of us that science hasn't yet managed to quantify, from that connection to source that quantum physics is now starting to touch on, but not even close yet. There is so much more. We all know it. We all sense it. And so anybody who's taking that time to pray, to meditate, to get still, and to connect with that deepest part of you, that is so powerful. And that is soul. That is connecting with your true essence, with your sacred self. And that is connecting body love, mindfulness, emotional living, and wrapping them all up. I almost said tying them all up, but being an NLP practitioner, I'm very aware of my language, and it's not tying them up, it's wrapping them up. It's this gentle encompassing and holding this vessel that is dynamic. So just as our thoughts change and our emotions change and our bodies go through different things, that vessel is the soul. It's the deepest part of us and it's the biggest part of us, actually. It's the part that we can't see but is bigger and stronger than everything. When it comes down to it, and we found ourselves in a situation that you could never have imagined, that's the part of you that kicks in. Yes, your thoughts and your physicality and your emotional strength, yes, all of that kicks in, but more over and above that, there is your soul. There is your true essence. So taking time out every day to connect with that part of you is so, so empowering. And I use the word empowering very much on purpose. If you just think about the word, I don't mean it as in stepping into your power in a dominant way, stepping into your power in a true, calm, strong, quiet way that just brings your truth into the world because you matter. And so that's a good enough reason. You are here with a purpose. And you may not be clear. You may not be clear like, I have this amazing clarity that my purpose is to serve and my purpose is to spread the message of love and more specifically self-love, because I believe that that's where love starts. And I believe that learning to love self is learning to love soul, and learning to love soul is learning to love source, from where we come, which none of us have managed to prove yet. But as I said, just about every single one of us knows there's something more. Even, and I'm talking to you out there who are atheists, or I know there's so many labels, I'm terrible with labels, but a-religious or atheist, or there is something else. There is the scientists. There's something. There's science that is yet to be discovered. So whatever that is, I call it source. A lot of people call it God. There are so many names for it, but getting in touch with that part of who we are, I believe, true sacred self-love, is what lights us up to the power of authentic love. And that power, I believe, comes from a greater space, a greater source, a higher power, whatever you want to call it. That's what connects us all. And if you look at history, you look at all the problems in the world, and you look at all the beautiful situations in the world, what has worked? What works for positive results, for growth, is love. Love energy brings people together. It creates harmony, and harmony is what we're after. Yes, there is an argument that says, so does catastrophe and chaos and war bring growth. Absolutely, absolutely. But to create harmony where each human being has a sense of self and feels whole and feels visible and heard and knows their worth and knows that they matter, that requires love energy. And for us to cultivate that, we need to start within. Connect with our sacred selves, grow that love, that sacred self-love, and then let it literally ooze into everything that we do, out of us and into everybody else. So I encourage you this week to find a way to just get quiet. So however works for you. If you're on the science atheist side, then just see it as a practice to quiet your body, mind, and emotions, and see what else is there, because you might be surprised. To people in a religion where prayer is part of that, get prayerful more this week. To people on a spiritual path who prefer to use the word meditation, spend more time meditating this week. And in addition to that, I encourage you to listen with what I call the inner ear. I use that term in my work. I like to say that I listen to people with my inner ear. So yes, I'm hearing them with my audio sense, and yes, my brain is taking it in, and there's cognition happening, and I'm thinking about what I'm hearing. More importantly, though, my inner ear, the part of me that is soul, is listening as well, and that can be connected to intuition, and intuition around relationships, what to do next, around yourself, around self-love. That rises, that has a chance to bubble to the top when we quiet our body, our mind, and our emotions. So I encourage you to do that this week, in whichever way it feels right to you. It's really just about getting quiet, being still, stillness, so that you can connect with the part of you that knows your purpose, that knows your passion, that holds the keys to all the universal wisdom that can even be imagined. It is within you. You are connected to that source. So give it a go. And as my favorite online yoga instructor in the world, Adrienne Mishler, she says, the hardest part is showing up. And I absolutely agree with her. So this week, I encourage you to show up for yourself. Give yourself Whether you say 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes a day, just to connect with that part of you that is bigger, greater, deeper than your body, mind, and emotions. Show up. Take that first really tough step and just show up. You might find that it happens for you on your yoga mat. You might find that it happens for you while you're running. What I encourage you to do, though, is try and do it in a place of stillness where you're not actually moving your body, your mind, or your emotions, and see what happens. If you have any questions about this and you want to connect, then please reach out to me. I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share the video. Actually, this is a really weird thing that I'm about to say. Don't subscribe to my channel. This is now I'm going to make an announcement. This channel is moving, so there is some exciting stuff coming in the weeks to come. And this channel is moving. Currently, we're on if you're on YouTube, if you're watching me on Facebook, I'll still be in the same place. YouTube is moving because I'm currently on my Flutter by Die account, which is my personal Had It Forever account, and I'm moving everything over to dianagrant.com so that we can be congruent and everything can connect and it all makes sense. So if you know me as Diana Grant, then you know what to look for and it'll be easier to find me. So this channel is moving. But I do encourage you to share this video, the videos from the previous 3 weeks. Share them with people that you think it could support their journey. There are so many other videos as well. I've spoken about different meditations and breathing exercises, and there should be something helpful for everybody. I do hope so. And obviously there'll be more to follow. I will still be going live every week. It's just that this channel will be moving. And thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who join me each week, it is so wonderful to have you here. Thank you. For those of you that are here for the first time, I really, really appreciate you being here. And I really look forward to sharing more value in the weeks to come. If there are any specific things that you would like to hear my sacred self-love take on, topics, themes, ideas, questions, then reach out, let me know. It's really easy. You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or my website, which is dianagrant.com. Really easy to find. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Remember, the hardest part is just showing up. So try and just show up for yourself this week and give yourself some of that sacred self-love because you matter and you are worth it. So connect with your soul. Thank you, Veronica, JJ, John. It's so good to have you here. Have a beautiful weekend and enjoy connecting with yourself. Ciao for now.